I must admit I've completely buckled to the pressure and I got myself an X100v. So Faisal's been talking about this for a while and obviously hanging around with him, that kind of rubs off. Other people have been messaging me saying you need to get one, it's amazing, you will stop using XT4s. And when I was in Dubai, it was literally like £300 cheaper than it is in the UK, and they actually had one in stock, believe it or not. Everyone seems to be sold out of them, but no, they had one. So that was all the excuses I needed to pull the trigger and get me one of these. Now, before I make a video talking about my thoughts and all that kind of stuff, I just want to bring you to a bit of a behind the scenes photo shoot I did with this camera in Dubai's old city, specifically Al Seef and on the creek as well. So me and my mum went on holiday to Dubai, and then that was just one of those days, and I thought I'll document it with the trusty GoPro and the X100. Right, I hope you enjoyed the video. It's definitely a chilled out one, so turn the speakers up because the music is quite good in this one, and enjoy. Also, thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Best way to get here is to jump on the metro on the red line going towards Center Point, then get off at Bergman and then take the green line metro towards Etisalat, but you only need to stay on for one stop. From there you can actually walk to the start of Al Seef. It doesn't take very long. Obviously you can take an Uber if you want. Personally, I like taking the metro in these places because you just get to see a different side to the city that you simply won't see from the back of a car. Before properly starting the day, I just wanted to use this bit of light right here to take a few cool portraits of Mum. Not taken photos of her for quite a while, and this was a great opportunity, and also a good way to test out what the X100 is like for portraits. Spoiler alert, it's pretty good. Can I stand here and just stand with your back on that? A bit, step that way. No, step that way. In the middle, a tiny step that way. A bit more. No, a bit more other way. That's it. Yeah. You'll see why. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Now, as I started exploring Al Seef more and more, there were a few things which began to sort of stick out to me. Number one, even though it looks very old, or it's meant to be very old, a lot of the old memorabilia like bikes and bits like that you'd think were abandoned were actually not. They were there on purpose. They're actually bolted to the ground so no one takes it. Turns out this whole area is a shopping centre, literally. But anyway, before I go more about that, as we walk into this patch of light here, I've asked my mum to walk through it, and what I've done is I would have taken a photo of her as she was just towards the edge of that patch of light. So basically her dress would be lit up, but then it would contrast the darker background. Obviously using aperture priority and then a slight burst mode as well, just to get the right moment. I don't always have to time it. And I was using a portrait orientation here because it just works a bit better for this scene. Right here we have a very nice, clean and simple scene. So beautiful light coming in from the opening at the top. We have loads of contrast, both color and exposure. So color contrast, we have some nice yellow stone, just the entire yellow area. We have a bit of blue sky, and we have a nice green door. We also have a bit more color in the back in that shop. And basically for this shot, I wanted my mum to walk through that frame, but also get it without her in it and with the guy in the background as well. So I ended up with two photos here. Overall, very pleased with this little scene. So yeah, as I said earlier, this whole area is basically just a fancy shopping center, and honestly initially I was like a little bit bummed out because I was expecting this to be this kind of really old like place, which again, as I've said, it is, it's just been renovated. But afterwards I was just like, you know what, rather than just complaining, let me just enjoy where I am, because in terms of being photogenic, this has to be one of the most photogenic places I think I've ever been to. Even if it's man-made, even if everything is tied down to the floor, it is one of the most photogenic places I've seen. Anyway, next subject, right in front of us, there's a guy standing right in the middle. I think he was on his phone and he just wouldn't move, and he was bang in the middle of where I would have placed him if I wanted a photo. So I started to just take photos as I was walking closer towards him, and ended up with two great compositions. After Al Seif, we decided to jump on one of the local boats and go for a spin up and down the creek. Honestly, seeing the town from the boat has probably been one of my favorite experiences in Dubai. For this location, I really wanted a very soft look to the images, so I opened the aperture up to f2, but obviously it was too bright, so I enabled the built-in ND filter, which really saved the day. honestly, I really enjoyed this old part of Dubai. There's so much life here. People are so open, they're so friendly, they're so approachable, which is a contrast to what you probably would have seen in one of my previous videos. And if I do come back to this region, I would want to spend most of my time in this old part of the city, interacting with the people and seeing this amazing environment. At this point I want to say a huge thank you to today's video sponsor, which is Squarespace. These guys have been backing me up for a while, and even before the YouTube sponsorship I've been using them for a number of years. It's a fantastic platform that allows me to connect all of my business services and put them under one roof, under one app, with a very easy, simple way to manage everything I possibly need. So if you want to make something similar for yourself, I do highly recommend Squarespace. If you use the link below, you'll get 10% off your first purchase after your free trial, and honestly, I can't recommend anyone else. These guys have been helping me run my business for the last 5 years, and without Squarespace I will probably have to do a lot more admin.